Is it visible? Can you see my share screen for now?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, but first, let me introduce myself. My name is Bagus Dwi Cahyono. I'm a college student, and for now, I'm on my second semester in my college. And I live in Magetan. It is near the Madiun in East Java. And I want to deliver my screen now. Okay, our topic today is about the impact of PUBG game addiction on social isolation and narcissistic tendencies among gamers. So the first, before I get further, I want to ask you a question, guys. What is PUBG as far as you know? I mean, what do you know about PUBG as far as you know? Because I want to know, is there anyone still to know about this game? Maybe if you want to speak up, you can raise your hand. Mr. Ahmad, maybe you want to speak up, please.
Oh yes, thank you for this opportunity. As far as I know from this kind of game, this is a video game, an online video game. I mean, and we can play in here as a solo player or probably in a team, and we have the obligation for killing the other participants or maybe the other teams. So we will be the one standing team or player in such area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmad. So, what you know about PUBG? What do you know about PUBG is this is an online game that we have to kill each other to win this game. And maybe Mr. Sandi Rizky Pratama, you can unmute yourself to speak up, please.
Maaf, Mister, saya cuma ikut masuk aja.
Okay, but actually you can speak up anything about something that we discussed. But thank you for joining this discussion. And Mr. Hu, please, the time is yours.
Right, thank you very much for this occasion. Sincerely, I usually play PUBG, but I try to deliver my anxiety about PUBG. As far as I know, that PUBG is one of the game that is servant our creativity, how to be good player till we can get the chicken. So in the game, we have to focus on the target even we are not the same friend, but commonly we got the random friends, but we try to be one team, solid, yeah, as far as I know, and we have to manage our strategy to be the winner. All right, thank you, Mr. Bagus.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Hu. So yeah, you said about chicken. Yeah, in PUBG, if you win the game, you will get the chicken dinner. It means that we call the winner in this game like winner chicken dinner. It's the call for the champion in this game. And Mr. Sunshine, please, the time is yours.
Yeah, I don't know. I just realized from the thing that had been told by Mr. Afida about killing. Yeah, so far I've been like enjoying the game so that I can shoot someone, but I didn't realize at all that it's actually mean to kill, to murder someone. So practically it's quite violent games, I suppose, but there is a feeling of happiness when we can actually kill someone. Yeah, especially when we use a sniper, when we become sniper, you know, sniping someone from somewhere we don't know, Okay, and it's been so fun playing PUBG because it's not only specialized to particular age range, but it can be played by no matter age you have. You can play it. It's not limited to the gender as well. But as far as I concern, it's commonly being perceived as something disturbing students. Students focus our concentrations on the academic track. Yeah, that's what I know about PUBG, I think. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sunshine. So yes, basically PUBG is about to kill someone. So is there any other that want to give the opinion about this PUBG? So what is PUBG actually? PUBG is a abbreviation from Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. It is an online multiplayer battle royale game developed and published by PUBG Corporation, a subsidiary of South Korean video game company Bluehole. So this game is from South Korea and published by Bluehole company. And also about the battle royale, maybe some of you don't know about this word. Battle royale is one of the genre video game that uh, battle royale is one of genre in the video game that you have to that adapted the survival them. And so in the battle royale game, the players must survival from the beginning until the end if they want to win the game. So it is a survival game. And in this gameplay, the PUBG gameplay, in the game, up to 100 players parachute onto an island and scavenge for weapons and equipment to kill others while avoiding getting killed themselves. And there is also available safe area of the game's map decrease in size over time, directing surviving players into tighter areas to force encounters. And then the last player or team that's standing wins the round. So the gameplay is about more than a hundred player come up into one island. They go to parachute. So the first they 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 go with the airplane and then they parachute on one island, and you can choose which point on which area you want to parachute. So in one island there will be so many areas that you can choose to scavenge your weapons. So you can choose on your team, or if you are alone, you can choose alone where you want to get off, and then you will parachute onto that area, and then you will scavenge for weapons. So you have to weaponize yourself, so you're not getting killed, so you can kill the other players and winning the game. So basically that's a simple game. You only have to survive until the end. And if you want to win the game, you have to kill others. And by the way, this PUBG, this game grossed $1.6 billion in 2020 and become top mobile game worldwide revenue on May 2020. Now it has been downloaded more than 1 billion times in Google Play and also in Apple App Store. So basically, this is very, very famous game. So many people like it and download it. Until now, more than 1 billion times it's downloaded in Google Play. And also, the PUBG, actually, the first PUBG is launched in 2017. It is a PC game actually in 2017, and then the next year in 2018, the mobile game for the phone is also was launched, and until now it get 1 billion times download in our Google Play and App Stores. So from that explanation, I want to know what do you think about what do you think? I want to know, is there any people in here that playing PUBG or not playing PUBG? And if you play or not play, what makes you choose to not playing or not playing PUBG? So if anyone wanna give the opinion, Mr. Ahmad Fatullah, please, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Here I just wanna be honest. Mm, to be honest, I don't play this such of game because this game is quite consume a huge of quota of my internet, and I think it's not quite important to play this game. Um, in other opinion, I suppose that this game is quite consuming time in the whole of my life. So besides I play this game, I suppose that I will do any activities that will support of my life to be much better again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ahmad. So Mr. Ahmad say that playing game isn't really effective for people because yes, it's right. Because PUBG actually has a big size in our phone. It's about 2 or 3 gigabyte, and it is actually a big size for mobile game. So yeah, it takes a lot of quota to play the PUBG. And then please, Mr. Satrio, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for this such a great opportunity. Um, Actually, this is my very first time to be here, and also this also to be my very first time joining OTA community. Um, but first of all, maybe I'm as one of the people who don't play this game because in my point of view, I don't give any interest in battle royale game in my whole life. I mean, this is not too good for education of the children, and it's also to be a part of my point of view. And the second one is about because I only play one game in my cell phone. It called Domination. Maybe it's quite similar to Empire, right? So I just don't give my interest about about this game.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Satrio. So Mr. Satrio said that actually game isn't always good for children, especially they are that still in education because it will take more time to play PUBG and usually they will just forget their responsibility to study and so on and so forth. And now, please, Mr. Robert, time is yours.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bagus. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, you are audible.
All right. So to be frank, I'm not the one who plays any game online. To be frank, because yeah, I have the same reasons as others before. But here, I just want to share my experience in playing games. I haven't played any game online since I was junior high school. However, in the past, I was addicted by games like PlayStation before. So yeah, for me, playing game was head and shoulder above other refreshing activities like sports or going to the market, for example, or hanging out with your friends. However, when I was in junior high school, I was addicted to play games, and back then, I felt that I lost a lot of times. I spent a lot of my time to play games. I didn't care about anything around me, like friends or people. Therefore, since then, I believe that it was not productive to me to play games. Therefore, I decided to um, look for other beneficial activities beside games like sports and those kind of things. Looking at that experience, um, since in my senior high school, I didn't play any game at all. I don't have any games on my phone or even in my laptop beside chess because it's still one of the entertainments for me. Well, yeah, based on that experience, due to the fact that I assume playing games takes a lot of time for me. Therefore, I don't want to play it. But in fact, I believe that a lot of people need, or all people, I guess, need entertainment, right, to relax themselves from other activities. But for me, there's a lot of or other things beside playing games to relax yourself, like playing sports or hanging out with your friends, or even riding bicycle, for example, because beside more productive, it can also improve or enhance your health and keep your body still healthy and so on and so forth. Therefore, I'm not eager anymore to play games due to that reason, because of my experience and looking at other friends that playing games could spend their time a lot to play it. Thank you so much, Mr. Bugs. That's for me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert, for your experience. So you was addicted to gameplay, to the PS game PlayStation when you were in junior high school. So that's why you don't play any game for now, because it takes a lot of time, and also it is better to seek for another entertainment like doing sport or hang out with friends. But actually, if you playing game, you can also hang out with your friends, right? Like if you play PUBG with your team, you also hang out with your friends, and it is quite interesting too. And for now, please, Mr. Hu, time is yours.
Right, thanks for your chance. Sincerely, I have installed the PUBG because I can play game with about exploration because I was confused when I played the game about exploration. Yeah, I played game, but I just installed PES or about football. If about football game, am not I'm not this wait I'm not confused. But when I try to play like Mobile Legend, PUBG, Free Fire, I'm so confused because I have to look for the target. I have to focus and I have to shoot someone who who hurts. Moreover, when you want to be winner, of course, we have to look. We have to try to kill them as soon as possible. Yeah, that's my reason. I don't play game or I don't play PUBG, Free Fire, or Mobile Legend because I'm confused, looking for the target, and I have to focus on one target. If I play if I play football, like game about football, like PES or something about football, yeah, I can be relaxed because I don't need to focus on one target. Okay, thank you, Mr. Bagus.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Hu. So you said that you're confused about the exploration game, like Mobile Legend. Actually, me too. I also confused about Mobile Legend. Actually, I cannot play Mobile Legend, and I confused why there are so many my friends play Mobile Legend and they can enjoy it, and I just confused what are you talking about. I don't know about it at all. And so, is there anyone who want to speak again, want to give their experience maybe, why do you not playing, or maybe you want to play another game game, but not with PUBG maybe. Is there anyone wanna give the experience again? Oh, there are so many people in here. Maybe Miss Tias or Mr. Azi. So if there's nobody will gonna express it, I'm gonna run to the next slide. So tonight we're basically talking about the game addiction too. What is the correlation between this game, PUBG or another online game, to the game addiction? And I want to ask you about what do you think about game addiction? What do you think about this? So anyone want to speak up? Mr. Ahmad Fatullah. Okay, time is yours.
Okay. So sorry because if I speak too much here because I believe that the day is my day for speaking English practice. Um, I suppose that it's related with the hormone of our body because we have what dopamine in in our brain that produce when we feel happy or satisfied. Sometimes when we when we play a game, we will get it. So we produce the dopamine when we play this many games in our life. To be honest, dopamine is not only produced when we play game. It it could be happen when we uh, what exercising or maybe find a success in our life or we achieve a certain goal in after many struggles. So um, dopamine could be produced uh, in playing game. So because of this consideration, someone will be addicted because they have fun to play it. So sometimes when they feel bored in their daily life, probably they will choose. Oh yes, it's my time for playing game, and then they will play game again for producing dopamine. And then when they finished, maybe they will felt boring again, and they felt bored again, and they will play again, and play again for producing dopamine and feeling happy with it. So yeah, because it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmad. So basically, we produce dopamine in our body to, if we get something fun, if we're doing something fun, then our body will produce dopamine. And if we bored, we will do something to produce this dopamine. So get we will get bored again. So that's why we get addicted. So is there any other that want to give their notion about this question? What do you think about game addiction? Okay, Mr. Satrio, please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I will say that probably it depends on the people. Um, uh, uh, Maybe for some people, everybody has some reason behind that why they really addict on playing a game. But for me, uh, playing a game is just only about the game. If we play a game, it also about how to kill our free time, and it also about the habit of someone, and also um, for additional reason why game become addiction for someone, it because they maybe they have a lot of time in their life to play a game, and also they don't know how to spend their time except playing a game. I mean,
Hello, Mr. Satrio. Are you still there?
yes. Okay, enough.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Satrio. So, in Mr. Satrio's opinion, game is just for fun. It's only for killing the free time that we have. If we have to spend time and we don't know what to do, just play game to kill our free time and to have fun, maybe with a friend that play same game with us. And about the addiction, game addiction, maybe they they that get the addiction of the game, maybe they have a lot of free time but they don't know how to use that time wisely instead of playing game, so they play game all the time and they got addicted because the game is fun and they cannot stop to play it. So first speaker please, Mr. Hu, the time is yours.
Okay, wait. Okay, I'd like to give my opinion about addiction. The addiction comes from, for me, I would like to tell about cultural ecosystem. Other are the non-material benefits people obtain from nature. They include recreation, aesthetic enjoyment, physical and mental health benefits. Maybe for the gamers or for the PUBG gamers because have they have got impact of playing playing PUBG games much or massively. So that when they gather with their friends and they don't play the PUBG mobile, they will say that you left behind or you are not friendly. So that some of the young generation when they gather because they usually play with some of the games like Mobile Legend, PUBG, Free Fire, and something like that. Of course, they will follow the big environment because they are created by the crowd people, not they create the crowd people. It means we follow about the crowd people and we are not created we don't create about the crowd people, we follow our new system maybe. Okay, maybe it's just my opinion about the cultural ecosystem, the habitual action size. Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Bagus, unmute yourself first. We can hear you.
I'm sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Thank you so much, Mr. Hu. Maybe the one that addicted to a game is the one that only follow their environment because their friends, their majority friends play some game and they don't want to lose their friend maybe, so they also play the same game with their friends. And for now, please, Mr. Nadia, the time, Miss Nadia, I'm sorry, Miss
Thank
Nadia,
you.
time is yours.
Thank you for calling me Miss. Yes, I'm not a Mister. So yes. Good evening, everyone. I would like to share my opinion about this. I think every kinds of game or everything that's supposed to give us information and then game for such as like game, it was established for us to to give such desire to play, to kill the time. But what it is called as addiction when it is already out of control, control from ourselves, control from the environment, and when it comes to makes us out of our priority. So I think game is okay to play, but when it comes to game addiction, it shows that we cannot control ourselves anymore. We lost our control on doing priority, and that makes game addiction bad. So I would like to emphasize that game addiction is more than only addictive to play it because it also gives the negative impact to the brain, to the culture, to lifestyle, and that's why game addiction is not a good thing to do. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nadia. I'm sorry, thank you so much, Miss Nadia. So basically, Miss Nadia said that game is okay, but if we too immerse while playing that game, so it will make the negative impact, and we will get addicted by that game, and it's not good for our culture, our body too, and our environment. So maybe anyone else wanna give their opinion about this? Okay, please, Mr. Sunshine, time is yours.
I think getting addicted to something is something really good. Yeah, as long as this kind of addiction doesn't make us blind toward other things. Okay, addiction that can make us more critical, more conceptual about something, about digging something positive, about something that we actually getting addicted on. It's something good. For example, like we're getting addicted to play PUBG, but at the same time, we still able to manage ourselves. I mean, like while we play, we'd like to deepen our strategies, our coordination, communication, tactic, skills, so that we can, like achieve more winning track or more winning records. I think that's something really good. Yeah. So basically, I don't blame when someone being immersed towards something, and that's what we call professional, right? So probably there will be a bias response to what we say, being professional or being immersed. Okay, but in my assumption, they are close. But I say, yeah, I mean, like those professional people actually with someone that become amateur, and at the same time they keep playing. Yeah, whether I don't know, in their circumstances, uh, can they be called addicted in the beginning? I'm not really sure, but yeah, they like to play games, and that's why it becomes their habit, and the habit creates such deep or significant proficiency to play games even more sharp, yeah, and that's why they become a professional players, and that's something good actually. Yeah, as long as we can control ourselves. I don't know if the addiction that disliked by so many people right here is addiction that totally blinds you toward something other than actually more important than you. But yeah, so many stories. All players, professional gamers, actually started from being someone that actually ignore all the things that become so essential for them because they just into toward the games and they become professional in that. I believe that getting addicted is not wrong, as long as we would like to not just play, but more than that. Yeah, I think that's what we thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sunshine. So basically, addicted isn't always bad as long as we can manage it as well. Because all those professional that in one sector, all the professional, maybe not all, but almost all professional in one sector, in the beginning they are addicted into that sector, but they can manage it into a positive ways. They can manage it into a professional ways, which is they don't ignore their responsibility. So addicted isn't always bad as long as we can manage it. Okay, and Mr. Robert, time is yours.
All right. I would like to add a little bit about the community in this pandemic era. So, in regards to addiction, I guess the more we are addicted to the game online, I guess the more the companies that own a lot of game technologies will earn a lot of benefits, right? Like what has been said by the moderator before, the benefits created by these games are tremendous, right? Are big, immense. Therefore, they create a lot of advertisements and influence a plethora of young people to play this, and they just adjust themselves to be able to be accepted easily by young generation. On the other hand, in the past, young generation could actually live right without any game online. We could play traditional games in our environment, in our surroundings. However, a lot of young generations right now seem to have the difficulties in living in their area in the technological eras without game online, right? Why did it happen? Yeah, this is because of the advertisements, encouragement created by technological companies behind this game online. So yeah, in short, the more we get addicted by the game online, the more the companies um, that was built to be benefited by this game online will earn a lot of money, a plethora of money that they have now. That's my point. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Robert. So, why the people getting addicted to some online game? Because because it is from technological effect. Because for now we live in internet era, we live in on advanced technology era, and so many companies build the technologies, and in this in this in this game sector also they build so advanced technology in the game, and then they they invite the young generation to play this game so they can get the benefit from this. And maybe anyone still wanna convey their argument or their opinion about this before I go to the next slide. I'm sorry, I just lost my connection immediately. And then for the next slide is how can we how can we recognize that someone's addicted to a game? Because there must be some traits, there must be some trait, there must be some signs if somebody get addicted into a game. So how can we recognize that someone's addicted to a game? I already searched on internet and I found Dr. Alok Kanochia. This Dr. Alok Kanochia is a psychiater from United States, and he do research on to the people that we want to know or to ourselves maybe if we play some game, are we addicted to a game or not? And there are several questions like, is gaming getting in the way of your academic performance? So basically if the game that you played is make your performance in academic getting worse, or it affect your academic, it is it is effect, so you get addicted into a game. And are you not doing as well in schools because you spend too much time playing video games? And then is gaming getting in the way of your professional success? And are you not moving forward in your life because your time is taken up by gaming? And also, are video games interfering with your physical or mental health? Are you gaining too much weight? Should you be losing weight? Is gaming getting in the way of your sleep? And does gaming create problems in your relationships if someone's in the relationships? And are you not able to find a romantic partner because you spend so much time gaming? Oh. Is gaming creating stress between you and your parents? Is there a disconnect between your idea and their idea of an appropriate amount of time spent playing video games? So Dr. Alok Kanogia from United States said that there are several questions that we can use to find out that are we addicted on a game or not. And this is the several questions to find out someone addicted on game or not. And I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about how we can recognize if someone's get addicted into a game or not? And what do you think about this method by that has proposed by Dr. Alok Kanuchia from psychiatrist from the United States? Maybe someone wanna give their opinion? Please raise your hand. Maybe Miss Livia.
Oh, okay. So I can choose one of those questions. Should I choose one?
Yes, you can choose one.
Okay. Okay, first, like I wanna answer for, is gaming getting in the way of your sleep? Actually, if it not coming into addiction, if you just play in your during your spare time and with some limited uh, time that you can manage it well, it will not affect your sleep pattern, but rather it can increase your mood. Sometimes it can increase your ability or flexibility, the way of thinking. Because in some of the research, playing games can also increase your creativity about thinking about strategy, something, and teamwork also, like in PUBG or in Mobile Legend or etc. But if it's already becoming an addiction to someone who also followed by poor social skills, and they also feel like insecure about themselves and also don't have any close friends or like support system who they can share about their life or their problems and talk about their personal things. Of course, gaming can lead to addiction quite easily, and it can ruin your sleep pattern, especially like younger generation who usually like to stay awake during the night, and they can play the game nonstop until they get the rank they want or they get the achievement unlock or something, and they can stay awake until even in the early morning when people just have just awake. They but they didn't they haven't sleep at all, and it becoming worse and worse and worse, since like the dopamine side also always try to like take them back to play the game again and again, and it will make them feel lost about their circadian rhythm. Like circadian rhythm is like same like sleeping pattern, and when your body cannot react normally again to the sun, to the sunlight, and to the change of the day, it become worse for your brain also. Your brain system gonna be shut down during the day, and they can be really really alert during the night. And if you have like jobs or if you are a student, it can also influence and have a bad impact to your like um, achievement in school and in job. You can be like fatigue, feeling fatigue, and lose focus and have a bad temper. So yeah, it can be worse in all aspect of our life.
Thank you so much, Miss Livia. So if the gaming make the disturb our sleeping pattern, it will be bad for us. So we could say we are addicted into that game in in the game, and it also can disturb on our job, or if we get education, it can disturb our education, can disturb our schools, and of course it will make bad impact for our environment too, and we will get more addicted, we will get more attention to that game, so we just forget our responsibility to our job and schools. So is there any people to want to give their opinion about this? Okay, Miss, I'm sorry, but I cannot read your name because I think it's Japanese and I cannot speak Japanese. Okay, Miss Chachun Havana, please, time is yours.
Thank you for the time. And for me, that's I can recognize someone's that's already addicted by game, based on what they are, what they treating for the other people. Like the cases for my friends, that's for the first time that I social with him or her. They really care with me, but after they already addicted with the playing with the game, uh, after that, the way they treat to other people will be different, and also it will it will give the big impact in the relationship if it's occur until they have more more what is it, more relationship, like in the marriage when the husband really addicted. How I can't imagine if in the relationship, in the marriage, and the husband addicted in the game, and they will, and it will forgetting about his obligation. So yes, that's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chun. So we can recognize if someone's get addicted into a game by how by seeing how they treat other people. And from Mr. Chun's experience, I'm sorry, Mr. Chun has friends that for the beginning really care about her, and then he or she get addicted into a game, and then the the care about other people decrease by the time because they got addicted into a game. And also about the relationship too, there's actually a question about it in this slide. So if the gaming, if you play gaming and it disturb your relationship, so you were addicted into that game, so it's not good for the relationship. So if you play some game and then it disturbing your relationship, so you are addicted into that game and you have to fix it. And then please, Mr. Sunshine, time is yours.
I believe that is a little bit unfair to list all these questions that actually put addiction as something to blame over many negative impacts that actually happened in the middle of someone's life. From this kinds of custom list, all I can say is that all bring bad impacts and all bad caused by addiction or video game addiction. I believe that it's really interesting to making some research showing that actually video games also can be questioned from the very good or positive perspective. Yeah, I just want to say something like this because why video games addiction doesn't create something good. Meanwhile, we believe that there have been so many things negative influencing someone's life over playing games. Okay, I think that's all. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sunshine. So basically, he questioned about why we claim this game addiction into always bring the negative benefit, the negative impact for us, for the people, for the players. But actually, there are some cases that the people on the first they get addicted into that game, and then by the time they can manage their addiction, they can manage about the time, they can manage their time, and basically why they are addicted into that game, it's also because they feel, maybe they feel that in that game they can they can sharpen their mind, maybe they can train about strategy, they can train about brotherhood, because in this PUBG, if your friends, if your teammates get shoot and knockout is when your teammate is dying and cannot do anything, actually you can save your friends, and your friends will be able to play with you again. So actually PUBG also has a good thing. It's it's train our brotherhood with our friends. So maybe there are anyone want to give their opinion again about this topic? Please raise your hand. Maybe Miss Ismi Islah Hasanah Do you want to give your opinion about this topic, Miss Ismi? I think Miss Ismi have some connection with his internet. And yeah, Mr. Indri raised his hand. Please, Mr. Indri, time is yours.
Well, thank you for challenging Eka. So after this, it's time for you to speak up, right? Well, I'd like to answer the questions that's related to physical. Yeah. Several years ago, I was one of the addicted of the games. Yeah, and you know, my purpose after I coming back from the school is not home, but my goal is how to go to internet cafe. I played that game that famous back then is called by Point Blank. You know how much money that I waste especially to play the game like that? It's almost millions a month. Sometimes I sacrifice myself to not using that money to eat on the in the school that make me prefer to go to the internet cafe. And yep, you can see what happened right now. I'm as the person that wearing glasses. Yeah. Um, Meanwhile, the several my families there is no one wearing glasses. So this is one of the biggest problem. And also, you know, if for instance, if tomorrow is holiday, yeah, one of my destination isn't didn't go to somewhere. It's like garden. It's like a place that a common student goes. But also, when tomorrow is holiday, I took night package. How to say that in bahasa in paket malam ya. We only pay 10,000, but we can play from 10 p.m. until in the morning. So do you know what happens after that? My parents didn't want to allow me to enter to the home in the back time. So this is the reasons that I'm was one of the stubborn persons when I was addicted with that game. So this is the reasons that sometimes, yeah, I do agree. Many gamers has a good creativity and they have what some things that related with creativity. But sometimes if you cannot manage yourself, I suppose that it will become the worst thing that sometimes it will disrupt your picture because you know, yeah, even though game is like giving you beneficial, it's like you will get money from that and you join with esport blah 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 and others. But my question is how long, yeah, that game still used by the people, yeah. When it will not be more than 10 years 20 years, so what you gonna do after that? So it'll be a big question. So that's why, yeah, you have to think twice if you want to become the persons that called by pro player in esports. But in other hand, yeah, don't forget to manage your time uh, to play that game. So between passion and also hobby, you have to separate. That make you will grab the better feature, I suppose. Everyone, the feature is your hand, so you can choose between you want to be a gamer on the mobile phone or you want to be a gamer in the government. It's like what Eka grab right now. So yeah, he's a gamer, but it's not in mobile phone. But the gamers in legislative assembly or the several parties that related to Indonesia. So which gamer are you? This is the big question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Indra Ivanov. So basically, there's two type of gamer, mobile phone gamer and also government gamer. And apparently, Mr. Indra was also addicted with a game Point Blank. Yeah, me too. I've played Point Blank, but I'm not addicted into it. And what's the negative impact is in our body too. We can get minus in our eyes if we get too much playing those online games in because we stare the computer screen, and it's not good for our eyes. So we have to be able to manage the time that we use to play our game, our favorite game. So for the next speaker is Mr. Eka. Please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bagus. Since I'm not a game player, so I think I wanna try to explain what I feel when I come to my friends, or when I was with somebody else that have time with me to talk about something that actually my friends, a lot of them will use the game on their mobile phone to be their, how to say it, like uh, their distraction from their miserable life. For example, when they have a fight with their girlfriend, or they still confused a lot with their task, their how to say tugas kampus, their way of their campus, for example, and they use a mobile phone game to make a distraction with the others. A lot of them do that for like 3 years, 3 years for now, because for the last 4 years, they have to bring a laptop, a big laptop, to play a game, for example, like Dota or the others. But after a lot of changes and development on games and mobile phone, actually they don't have to bring a laptop anymore. So they have a lot of space to save their belonging, and then they can play anywhere. So with a big market, our government supported with a cheap internet quota. We can have a lot of like interest at night packet live for the quota, and then we can have 30 gigabyte for a month with just only $150,000 for rupiah, for example. And I think it's complicated when we talk about addiction in on video games, because there is sometimes there's just used for distraction for my friends. Since I'm not a video game player, and I see this question, I think this is also my problem in my life. For example, if gaming we can change with is for example, like, is poetry getting in the way your academic performance? Yes, for example. I'm happy to write a lot of poem, but I'm not happy write my thesis, for example. So, and the second one, are you not doing as well in school because you spend too much time playing? For example, I do nongkrong, right? Uh, ex, uh, I have class time, but I prefer to go to cafe, for example, to read a lot of politics book or philosophy books, for example. I think, and this one is gaming getting in the way of yourself. I'm not playing game, but I cannot sleep at the night, for example. So I think we still faces a lot of problem when we talk about a game, because I think that a video game can improve your logical thinking, because when chess become popular in Indonesia, become viral, not popular, become viral in Indonesia because of Dewa Kipas. A lot of my friends that already play a mobile phone game, they can learn about chess in short time. And I must took a lot of time to learn about how to move for the opening, or how to 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 close the game, for example. And they just take short time, like 2 days, 3 days, they already master it, but not become a master, but they master the theory, for example. So I think in Indonesia, I still see that game become distraction when you have a lot of problem in your life, in your relationship, or with your primary objective, for example. So I think they still not become addiction. It's different with Japan or another developed country. Maybe that's it, Mr. Bagus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eka. So actually, for some people, they just playing game for the distraction, to escape, maybe to escape from their heavy assignment from their college or from their job. So they just want to get distraction a little bit to make their mind fresh again, so they can productive again and they can finish their job and finish their assignment. So is there anyone else want to give their opinion about this topic? Okay, maybe I'll move into the next slide. So I want to ask you guys about what's your perspective of social isolation and narcissism tendencies. Are both related one another? Because our topic today is about the game addiction and social isolation and narcissism tendencies. But first, I want to ask you. I want to know your perspective about this topic. What is your perspective about social isolation and narcissism tendencies? Are both related one to another? Maybe if you want to convey your argument or your convey your notion, please raise hand. Please raise your hand. Okay, we have Mr. Sunshine. Please, Mr. Sunshine, time is yours.
To begin, I'd like to say that we need to bring such elaborate definition that can clarify what do we mean by social isolation and how it can be so different from narcissism tendencies. But basically, they're significantly different. Social isolation, it means you try to seclude yourself from people. You try to isolate yourself. You marginalize yourself. You don't want to get along with people. You don't want to socialize with people. But probably willingly or being forced. Okay. So this is the moment that we actually experience it the most in the middle of COVID pandemic, because it's like something like physical distancing, social distancing, something related to that. It means we make a distance. We make something that's separating us. We make a wall that actually forbid us to interact with others. That's what I call social isolation. Meanwhile, when we talk about narcissism tendencies, it means that probably someone will have a very strong ego to control themselves, and they have inclinations to defend themselves and to be proud of themselves. Yeah, even though in reality it wasn't the case. So narcissism tendencies it might be something really good, as something that um, quite effective in building your self-confidence. Meanwhile, it also can backlash or backfire at you when you actually believe yourself you can do, or you can actually hypnotize so many people that at the back, you just like what Avril Lavigne say in Complicated, yeah. You try to be cool, but you look like a fool to me, something like that. So yeah, I guess we can make it related one another because when we actually fell into the narcissism atmosphere, we actually isolate ourselves from being influenced by others' opinion in ourselves on ourselves. Okay, I think that's for me. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Sunshine, for your opinion. So there is a there's a relation between narcissism and social isolation, because basically when we are narcissism, we close to other people. We close our mind from other people. Think other people are arguing about us. So basically, it is social isolation too. So for the next, please, Mr. Eka, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Maybe a gamer, for example, why they choose to be on social isolation, because they see that a lot of social life being so tough for them. For example, like uh, how people be their friends, or how they talk with gamer, because a gamer and ordinary people have different language, right? For example, like my friends and I, when we talk about something else about our life, for example, I have to really concentrate to understand them very well, because I don't know how they can describe their personal life with that way, for example. So social isolation for gamers, I think it's made for them to understand more about their self, and they feel they feel safe when they do those isolation. And so it's actually related with narcissism. A lot of us still wrong understand about narcissism. We actually understand that narcissism is about love ourselves too much, or etc etc. But actually, I read something interesting to me, that narcissism actually, that for philosophy, that our what is bayangan, our bayangan is go out from our body, and then when they see us, they love us. So that's our shadow, yeah, shadow, that our shadow that love us, because in that book, they make a story about a prince who fall in love after he saw a woman on the picture that actually him. So I think narcissism tendency for a gamer, based on my theory about narcissism, is actually when they can go make their shadow go out and become someone that really themselves, and they found it on the game, on the character game, on the, how to say it, like the mission on the game, or how they talk to each other on the game, for example. And I think it's related it's related between social isolation and narcissism. I think that's all for me, Mr. Bagus. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Eka, for your opinion. So maybe some players playing a game because they see something that they feel comfort into that game, and they cannot find it in a real world, in the real environment. So they play their game and then see something that is comfort for them. So is there anyone else want to give their opinion? Maybe Miss Eki Laura, would you like to give your opinion about this topic? Maybe Miss Eki have some trouble connection. Okay, we have Mr. Satrio raise his hand. Okay, please, Mr. Satrio, time is yours.
I mean, I guess it's quite different from both sides between social isolation and also narcissism tendencies. Because for me, social isolation is about a problem of the personal life of the people. Um, for example, like they if they play the game, so they have to focus on playing on that game, and they cannot be able to communicate to each other. So that's also it called social isolation in my opinion. And also, if we talk about narcissism tendencies, it doesn't has a
Oh
correlation
my
social isolation as well,
god.
because due to the difference in narcissism tendencies, uh, people also just want to show their personal interest. Why the reason why they play why they play the story behind that. I mean,
Hello, Bruce, are you there?
okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, I just lost my connection again. Okay, then thank you, Mr. Satrio, for your opinion. And maybe we can run to the next slide of this PPT. Actually, I get some fact about this narcissistic and social isolation. Uh, Actually, this social isolation and narcissistic tendency is one of the mental health problem in our world. Because from what I see in the article, the social the the social isolation can lead you to the loneliness. You can feeling lonely if you have social isolation. Feeling lonely and being isolated are bad for our health. Loneliness and social isolation are associated with higher rates of depression, a weakened immune system, and heart disease, dementia, and early death even. So this mental health disorder even in the worst case, can lead us into a death. And we actually can check, are we risky in this mental health disorder? We can try to active and better connected, and we can check if alone or cannot leave your home. If you are alone or you cannot leave your home, and you feel alone or disconnected from others, and recently had a major loss or change, are a caregiver or like a sense of purpose. These several statements can check, are we get the social isolation, are we feel loneliness, and are we get are we have a mental health disorder or not. And then how to tackle this problem, how to tackle this social isolation, how to tackle this loneliness. Actually, there are some ways in this fact that I found on an article in the internet. We can find the activity that we enjoy, or learn something new. Maybe we can have fun and meet people with similar interests. I think this is an interesting point. We can find activity that might be we can enjoy under something new. So maybe it has relation with the gamer, that they find something interesting, they find something comfortable in those game, so they play that game. Like Mr. Eka said, some people maybe play a game for because they found something that make them comfortable in this game. So maybe playing game can make us tackle this loneliness and the social isolation, mental health issues. But the second, we also can get moving or exercise. Exercise actually can decrease stress and boost our mood and increase your energy. So basically, in this point, we have to we have to push our mood. If we feel loneliness, we might be feel like we have a bad mood, and we have to push our mood by doing something like exercise or maybe play game. And then the fact about narcissistic personality. Actually, there are some traits about this narcissistic personality that we can recognize people. Are they get, or even are we get narcissistic personality disorder? There are several points in this fact that I found in article. It's expect to be treated in a special way. So when the people have narcissistic personality problem, they want to they expect to be treated by other people in a special way. So they feel like they are special, so they have to accept special threat from other people. And then the second point is about easily offended. And so people with narcissistic personality disorder, they can easily offended by other people's statement. Maybe they just can be angry easily if feel like they feel like other argument are not good for them, or they don't like others argument or something, and they need admiration from others. So these people that get narcissistic personality, they looking for admiration from others people because they feel they are special, and they exaggerate her or his achievement and knowledge. So they they like to compare, they like to exaggerate their achievement to others people, and they are arrogant. So this narcissistic personality have have actually have really bad impact for people. and actually for the environment, because this is the social relation, and if someone get narcissistic personality, it will back it will be bad for their relation, their environment relation. And also in this fact, there are some researchers that doing research about this narcissistic personality disorder. 66.2% of people has narcissism once in their lives. So based on this fact, actually everyone has at least 6.2% narcissism in their life, and 7.7% of men develop narcissism compared to 4.8% of women. And disability is associated with narcissism among men but not among women. Men with narcissism have higher rates of most substance abuse disorder and antisocial personality disorder. Women with narcissism have higher rates of major depressive disorder and most anxiety disorders. And from this fact, we know that the the, peop- the people that have unmarried, that have higher rate from this disorder, that it is the one that unmarried or separated or divorced, and so on and so forth. And maybe we can run to the next slide. So here's I found some case in internet that PUBG has make so bad impact into a people. And from this case, the pub the PUBG game also the PUBG game also had an impact on one of the students named Saif Eldin. The 16 years old student was arrested by the Egyptian police because he had killed the teacher. After being asked by the authorities, he said that he killed his teacher because he wanted to imitate the characters in the PUBG game. So maybe this is the worst impact from being addicted to some game. And also this one, a boy named Hu Tianxi from China died horribly after jumping from the fourth floor and of an apartment building. Both of Tiana's parents thought that their child could dare to jump because he imitated the characters in the PUBG game that he often played. So actually there's also can lead us into the death if we are addicted into that game. And then I want to ask you guys, putting aside putting aside the negative impact, is there any positive side from this game actually? Because like Mr. Sani said that there must be a positive ways, a positive effect from being addicted, because professional comes from addicted that can manage. Actually, there's a positive effect, and also there are some research about this game. This research is conducted by Ford Information System for Professor. He said that playing PUBG can increase your productivity with your friends. So actually, there's a good impact too in PUBG. And also, PUBG can make our country proud because in 2019 we won. We are the champion. Our country won PUBG Mobile Open PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019, which took place in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And our country has beat 16 teams from all over the world. Actually, this is a good thing for us, for our country, because PUBG can make our country proud. So I want to ask you guys, is there any benefit that we can take from this PUBG game, from this online game? Maybe if someone want to give their opinion about this, is there any positive impact that we can take from this game, because actually we have won the world champion competition PUBG in 2019. Maybe if someone want to convey their opinion, please raise your hand. Okay, we have Miss Tatun in here. Please, Miss Tatun, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. For me, that's all the things in this world have a downside and the positive side. So, like in this case, playing internet game is having a positive side, like uh, stimulates our multitasking skill, and also when I see a lot of my friends that have a good capability in playing game, they have a good capability in academic side too. So means that the more they practice in the game, the more they can enhance their multitasking skill and motoric skill. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Tatun. So, Miss Tatun said that there are some people that even if they play game online, they also good at their school, and it's good. The game online can train us about the multitasking. And maybe anyone else want to give their opinion about this topic? Is there any positive impact by playing this game? Maybe Miss or Mr. Talbot, would you like to give your opinion about this topic? Miss, Miss or Mr. Talbot? Hello, Mr. Talbot, are you there? Maybe Miss or Mr. Talbot isn't there. Maybe he or she has some connection problem. Or maybe Mr. Abdurrahman, would you like to give your opinion about this topic? Oh, Mr. Abdurrahman already left. Maybe Miss Azi, would you like to give your opinion? Miss Azi?
No, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have Mr. Satrio in here. Please, Mr. Satrio, time is yours.
Well, thank you. I only have a several reason why a game should be positive and should give a positive impact to the people and also to the society. The first one is because it depends of the type of the people. If the people has has introvert character on their life, um, I mean, they can express themselves as an introvert by playing the game, and also it will be the good things for introvert person like me to spend a little time uh, only for chilling uh, for a short moment by playing the game. And also the second, sometimes if we have a lot of activity in our daily life, and also if we have some pressure, maybe in our job, playing the game also can be healing, one of the best healing way, and also how to feel the energy back to our body as well. Yeah.
Is that all, Mr. Satrio?
It's enough for me.
Okay, thank you,
I
Mr.
only have
Satrio.
two reason.
Okay, thank you so much for giving your opinion. So maybe playing online game could be positive for us because we can spend our time if we feel like we stress about our job or our duty, our responsible. We can just playing game to make us fresh, especially for those people who are introvert and maybe those people that don't doesn't have any friend, so they can just playing on their online game to refresh their mind. And maybe anyone else want to give their opinion?
Hello.
Hello, please, miss. The time is
Okay.
yours.
So I guess like, okay, I'm an introvert person, and I feel like the only way I can feel comfortable with my own self and spending my like free time or leisure time is by playing the games. But in the long run, when I actually just always run away from like the awkward or like weird social situation that I usually nervous to do, like to face or like to start a conversation or to make some new friends or to get into a new environment and introduce myself to the other person or strangers. I always like want to run away from that situation, that kind of situation. Maybe the easiest way is just playing game. Open up my phones and start playing games or scrolling through anything. But I suddenly realized time by time after in the long run I'm doing this like automatically. It didn't bring any of positive impact toward my social skills improvement. Like I don't improve my social skills at all. And even I become more awkward or like feel clumsy whenever I meet new people compared to what I was before I get into this kind of online game or online social media addiction. So I probably want to say that just be careful. Even though you feel like you are introvert person, it doesn't matter whether you are introvert or extrovert. At least just sometimes when you feel like you have the energy and you have the positive mood to do that, please try to improve your social skill by starting a conversation, even it's just a small conversation or a small talk. It probably feel like nothing to you, but at that time, but believe me, time by time, you will realize that what you do is for your good, rather than taking like a shortcut way to feel comfortable with yourself by playing game. It doesn't bring any good. Just try to challenge yourself and face your fears. And being vulnerable, sometimes it can bring you much benefit rather than just stay in your home doing nothing and doesn't want to like train your social skill. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so much, Miss. So basically, playing online game or any other game maybe can be a distraction for introvert people because they don't know or maybe they don't feel comfortable when they have a social relation, and maybe the game is become the distraction for them. But don't forget to make any social relationship because it is important because you live in real world and you have to make social relation with another people. So I think that's all. Oh, we still have one, Mr. Robert. Okay, please, Mr. Robert, time is yours.
Yeah. I just wanna add a little bit. Besides giving entertainments, money, friends, supportive skills, etc., I guess it can also motivate people to learn languages. Because several weeks ago, I met my friends who were into this kind of game. They were motivated to learn language because, as far as I'm concerned, this game is an international game, right? So you are met by a lot of people here by playing this game. And as far as we know that English is an international language, so some people are motivated by learning a language because they need to communicate with their friends from other countries having different languages compared to them, etc. So yeah, I guess it can also enhance their motivations to learn languages. On the other hand, I just wanna add in regards to giving entertainment, friends, and those kinds of thing. I guess doing exercise also can give that benefits, right? However, doing exercise can give us more benefits because it can also improve or it can also entertain us. At the same time, it can give us health. Therefore, I encourage everyone to balance their activities from online games like this and doing exercise because it is very beneficial for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Robert. Yes, of course. I also found some case that someone want to playing this game because they want to improve their language skill, their maybe their English skill because this is an online game that international. I mean, like everyone in the other in all of the world play this game also, so they can communicate each other with the language. So they also can improve their language by playing this game because they have to communicate with their teammate to win the game. So thank you so much, Mr. Robert. And I think it's the end of our discussion for today because the time is up. And I really appreciate for all of your response. Thank you so much, everyone, for your response. And I'm sorry if I make a mistakes in this discussion. I'm so sorry if I make a mistake and really appreciate of all of your response, all of your comments. Hopefully, our discussion can be useful for us to be able to manage if we are playing some game, we can manage it. And don't forget to balance with our real world. And thank you so much, everyone. I want to return it to our host, Mr. Sunshine. Thank you so much.
Well, so yeah, a big thanks I'd like to convey to our moderator tonight, Mr. Bagus. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone that have been joining. But before the closing, I'd like to deliver two things. The first one is the vocabularies and also some grammatical correction that actually happens in the middle of the discussion. Okay, so here I'm going to share you the screen. Wait a moment. Okay, so sorry, I didn't changes yet. Okay, this is actually just before we begin our discussion. Okay, going to change it like this. Okay, so there's a difference between survival and survive. Yeah, so survival, it means this is adjective, and survive, it means a verb. So we cannot survive. It is the correct one. It's not, we cannot survive. Okay, and also there is another term that is correct to, that actually quite delicate to be used when it comes to game vocabulary. It's time consuming. Rather than saying it's consume or takes a lot of our time. Yeah, we can see like this game is consuming. Okay, and the next one will be the negative impacts. Most of us often talk using this kind of vocabularies, and we can actually replace it by using downside or demerits, negative impacts. Okay, and then there are anyone. I believe that the correct one should be is there anyone, because when anyone is only used in interrogative sentence, not to be used in positive sentence. Okay, and new vocabularies like paket malam, night package, or midnight, maybe, yeah. Tugas kampus, class assignment. Okay, and then nongkrong, hang out, bayangan. It can be shadow, it can be image, yeah. And then not loneliness, but loneliness. Okay, the pronunciation should be loneliness, lonely, not loneliness. Okay, and the next one, what has been said in regard to meningkatkan, yeah, you can use enhance, elevate, add, increase. Every word contains the same meaning. Okay, so I think that's all for our discussion today. I'd like to say thank you so much for the things that you have been sharing to all of us. I hope that we can actually meet regularly every week, and I hope that I can hear and exchange the notion with you guys. Yeah, I'm going to looking forward to hearing something tremendous from you guys. Okay, let's close the discussion by opening the camera and let's take a picture together. Okay, one, come on, come on. I know it's been like so tiring day, it's a weekend. Okay, probably some of you have been spending sometimes in beach or hills or only at home or being sick. I hope you guys will be always healthy. Yeah. Okay, come on, Dalby, Livia. Okay, Ritwan. Oh my god, I'm so longing to watch you and see you guys. It's been so long. Oh my goodness. It's like I break my social isolation by having you guys right here. Okay, so yeah, on the count of three. Okay, but before that, Tias, Ridwan, Azi, Fadila, Isla Hasana. Come on, guys. Okay, we still give time. Okay, that's really good. Okay, okay. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. Wait a moment, I'm going to save this, okay? Because I'm using Photoscape, I don't know what kind of application or software that actually appropriate to take pictures right here. Okay, once again, on the count of 1. 1. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And the last we say, have Ota. Yesterday.
Yesterday, say tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Guys, in the next discussion. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.